In the 3 years since he entered the fight game, Adonis Creed has been on a tear, winning 7 matches in a row and becoming the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. However, a specter of the past has begun to loom its head as Ivan Drago, the man who killed Apollo Creed, Adonis' father, has arrived with his son, Victor, looking for a fight. Is this a fight for revenge or redemption? This is Creed 2. So yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Not necessarily bad, but it's pretty straightforward. Basically, the Dragos have been, father and son have been living in exile in the Ukraine since the Soviet Union collapsed. They were basically abandoned by the Russian Federation after Ivan lost to Rocky. And again, they've sort of been toiling away. Like I said, he's been training his son. His wife left him. Brigitte Nielsen does actually appear in the film. It appears she's married to a high-ranking Russian government official, but yeah, she's out of the picture. And that's sort of the Drago story. And Adonis' story is a little different. He doesn't really know why he's fighting, if that makes any sense. Like, first he was fighting for his father, but as both Rocky and his mother Marianne, his adopted mother Marianne, have pointed out, you need to stop thinking this is a fight for revenge, because he takes this initial fight with, and yes, there are 2 fights with Victor Drago. That being said, there are some other things too. Like I said, he wins the World Heavyweight Championship. He proposes to his girlfriend Bianca. They move to LA to further her career in the music industry. She finds out she's pregnant soon thereafter. And that's kind of how that plays out, with a little bit more I'll get to. So he takes the fight, but Rocky advises him not to because, Donnie is trained in sort of a speed, finesse type of boxing style, while the Dragos are all power, and those styles don't really mesh well together. He knows that, again, if he boxes like his dad did, he's going to wind up like, Donnie boxes like his dad, he's going to wind up like his dad. And that's almost what happens in the first fight. Donnie goes to Duke Jr., the son of the man who trained his father and who initially rejected the offer to train Adonis in the first film. And right away, there's a split between Rocky and Adonis at this point. There's also a subplot where Rocky, again, has kind of grown distant from his son, which is weird because I thought that was sort of fixed in Rocky Balboa, but okay. And at that point, like I said, the first fight, they're fighting. Drago is just overpowering Adonis. He's pounding him in the corner. He hits him in the ribs, breaking a rib actually. He fractures an orbital bone, a grade 3 concussion. There's one other thing, ruptures a kidney as well. But he takes a cheap shot when Adonis gets knocked to his knees. He takes a swing at him, and that results in an automatic disqualification. So Drago does not become champion. He technically loses the fight, even though by all means he won the fight. Again, Rocky comes to try to help Adonis, but Adonis sort of rejects him, and this has kind of left him, Adonis, unmoored, even as his child, a girl named Amara, is born. And he's even faced with the fact that it appears Amara has inherited her mother's deafness. And so, yeah, again, it seems like everything is going against him. The WBC says, look, you need to fight or we're going to strip you of the belt. You don't have to fight Drago. If you want to fight someone else, that's fine, but you need to fight. And he's reluctant to get back in the ring, but eventually he begins to summon up the fortitude to, well, not quite avenge his loss, but you get the idea, to fight Drago again and to do it on the proper terms, as his mother Marianne, adopted mother Marianne, calls Rocky, basically patches things up, saying, you two need each other, you two need to work together again. And he starts listening to Rocky, and at that point we get another training montage, of course. The high point of which is, he says, you need to learn to fight toe-to-toe in this. So he gets a really big boxer and puts a sparring partner, and puts a tire in the middle of the ring, and each person puts a foot in so that they're close together. Yeah, they have to fight in close quarters combat, unlike the way Adonis has been fighting every other way, which is more the bob and weave, like I said, finesse style. He needs to try to go for a power game. And from that, he also needs to learn endurance, so they have to be out in the desert, and that includes digging a hole with a sledgehammer, because just swinging it down into the ground and trying to see how far you can just pound the dirt down. He has to carry weights around. He has to run long distances, so he builds up his endurance for an endurance fight. The second fight is held in Moscow. It is for the championship this time. Again, I'll go back to the Drago's subplot. And unfortunately, one drawback I think to the film is it does not dwell enough on the Dragos. I found them to be vastly more interesting than Adonis in this. And basically, it's Ivan's trying to get back into the good graces of the Russian Federation. Victor's not really having any of it. They even, bring back his mother to sort of say, "Hey, look, I'm here. I'm your friend." And he knows, no, you're not. If I fail again, you're just all going to abandon me. And Ivan doesn't completely see it. He just says, we need to get back. And he's basically, again, extolling the virtues of fighting for Russia. Even though I'm guessing he was probably born in the... Victor was probably born in the Ukraine. But anyway. And like I said, there's not enough of that. But, the big fight comes. This is different than the Rocky V fight, where there's a lot more punching. It's a lot more physical. I mean, Victor really dominates most of the fight. He even gets in another blow to the ribs. Teases another another knockdown. He actually knocks down Adonis another time. And Adonis summons the strength, drops Victor 2 more times. And at this point, Ivan is starting to see things like, one, he notices Brigitte Nielsen's character has gotten up and left. It seems like most editors realize that Victor is not going to win this fight now. The way these last few rounds are going, he's just getting pummeled. And Victor has also noticed this, and he's also sort of losing the will. And so Ivan gets up, he grabs he throws in the towel. He says, "No, I will not let this happen anymore. This stops now." And he sort of realized his mistake, and he says, no, we don't need them, we just need each other. And again, I wish there had kind of been a little bit more of that in this film. That's really the one major drawback. Obviously, Adonis wins the fight, and then afterwards, he goes to visit Apollo's grave, and he said, I beat Drago, but I didn't beat him for you. I beat him for me, and I beat him for my kid. And as this is happening, you see the Dragos kind of going back to training, trying to find a better way to fight. And Rocky visits his son, and he's played by Milo Ventimiglia again, so they got that in at least. So everything seems to have patched things up now. So yeah, well, like I said, on the plus side, I mean, it's a Rocky movie. I mean, maybe called Creed, but let's face it, it's Rocky. It's the continuing story of Rocky Balboa, basically. And, if you know the Rocky sequels, he loses, he comes back, it follows that formula, it works, it's still solid. Still not as good a training montage as Rocky IV, but other than that, it's, like I said, it was a good film. Overall enjoyable, good performances throughout. My 2 major gripes, again, the Dragos, and I didn't like the score on this. The music of this was really not very good. The music they had in the trailer was really good. The way they used samples from DMX's "They Don't Know Who We Be," and that sort of bit. I really wish they had used that more, but they didn't. They just kind of had this bad Victor Conte-esque score that just didn't really work at all. But overall, this is a very enjoyable film. I am going to give Creed 2 an A.
Hello? Somebody out there? E.T. Video game?
Coming soon, only from Atari, the video game that lets your family help E.T. get home. But only if you have an Atari video game system at home.
Okay, trailer time, and once again we seem to have a mixture of old and new. We had Captain Marvel again. Then we had The Upside, which is the movie with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston is a quadriplegic, and Kevin Hart is the ex-convict who he hires to be his physical therapist. After that, we have The Intruder, the psychological thriller about Dennis Quaid selling his house to a young couple, but then not leaving the house and not leaving them alone. Then we have Alita Battle Angel again. Then we had What Men Want. I don't know if you remember that. That was in the, I want to say that was in August or July I saw the trailer for that. That's the Distaff female counterpart remake of What Women Want. Taraji P. Henson gets psychic powers so she can hear what men are secretly thinking. Yeah. Then we had Glass again, Aquaman again, and last but not least, Fighting with My Family, which really does not look good at all. It's an interesting story, but I can already tell they've mucked it all up. I mean, there's a documentary about this. Yes, it is this true story of Soraya Bevis, who performs in WWE under the name Paige, but they keep calling her Paige throughout the trailer. They don't call her by her real name. Like, just say it's the true story of WWE's Paige. How hard is that? And sorry. So, like I said, this will be the last movie review for about 2 weeks because there's just nothing coming out here. I know, again, there are movies coming out, but they're just not coming here. I don't know what's coming here necessarily, and I like to be able to plan ahead as much as I can. So the next movie review is going to be Into the Spider-Verse. I might try to maybe review a Netflix or something like that. Maybe, I don't know if I'll resume the Marvel Netflix stuff that I abandoned back in March, but who knows. Maybe I'll do a little Netflix mashup, talk about a few other things that are on there. Then we're doing the holiday trifecta, which is Mary Poppins Returns, Bumblebee, and Aquaman. And that will round out the year. I'll probably do a best and worst list. I'm still trying to formulate if I want to do a top 10 or a top 5 or maybe somewhere in the middle and do a top 8 or something. But I'll do a best worst list, of course. But also next week will be the Random Trade review on Futurama. No wrestling until mid-December for TLC, so see you all next time. Hey guys, is there a movie you want me to tackle? If it's some stinker like Baywatch or the Emoji Movie or something else? Check out my Patreon at Sleepy Time for Cat Productions. See how you can make that happen.